Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Derek's Travel Chat for January 21st, 2021, which happens to be the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. So hopefully that's a lucky day. Although here with the big snowstorm on the go right now, I don't know how lucky we are, but I guess we're lucky to be in a very safe place right now. So I'm Derek Windsor, host of the show, and I'm looking forward to continuing to provide you, the viewers, with and the listeners, with options and ideas as you think and dream about as the world opens and begins to reopen for travelers. So today, my guest has been part of the travel industry for over 26 years and has been to many parts of the world. In addition, prior to entering the travel industry, he actually played hockey in Europe at a professional level. And but I'll let him tell us more about that a little bit short in a short minute. Uh, my guest today is Mr. Ron Lonsdale. He's the vice president of Collette Tours here in Canada. And I've known Ron now for probably about 5 years, I guess, Ron.
Yes.
And his knowledge of the travel industry in general is just amazing. And I'm sure all of our listeners will learn a lot of stuff today. Ron lives in Toronto with his wife JoAnne and his two sons Carter and Cole, and graduated from Humber College in Ontario. And as I said, played professional hockey in Europe. And as Ron describes himself, he's living the dream. So, welcome, Ron, to the show. It's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show and have you share your experiences of traveling to those over 70 countries with our viewers. So, really appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. And I just want to see if I can start to share my screen, Derek. If I think, does that work there, Derek?
We're looking wonderful, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, good afternoon. I'm Ron Lonsdale, Vice President of Collette Canada, and I hope you and your families and communities are keeping well and healthy. I understand from talking to Derek, he's somewhat of a meteorologist, but you're getting dumped on with a lot of snow. So hopefully you're not going to be stuck in having to shovel for the next few hours. But as you know, we're all keeping a greater physical distance, but emotionally we're coming closer together, and it's not going to be too long before we reconnect the joy of travel. We're certainly closer to the end than we were from the start of this crazy mess. And you did ask me for some hockey photos. And as you know, when you marry Derek and the wife wants to keep the house nice and tidy and clean, those things that were a few decades ago don't appear. It's love it or list it. So the only thing I have to show that I actually did play hockey is my Hall of Fame college photo. And it's interesting, that was late 80s, and then I went into Europe over in the early 90s. But there was a teammate of mine, his name was Chip Crandall, and he played for the Corner Brook Royals. And I guess back in the day, the Senior A was quite a talented, tough league.
Yeah.
He had the facial expressions to show for it, and a few missing teeth. So, and he told me how he would work and then go and get some money. And if he finished the game, he got this amount of money. But I have to say, through my travel experiences, it was a combination of hockey and getting the travel bug when I was playing in Europe. And I always say travel is a true educator. One of the few things that we can actually buy that enriches, enhances our life. So it's a pleasure to be here. And I put a deck together because I know you had a few questions and just wanted to know more, about the current state of affairs of Collette. And I have to say, the last 11 months have been very difficult for everyone in the entire travel industry. Collette being in business for 102 years, we've seen many trying times and events like these, like 9/11, several wars, 2008 global financial meltdown, SARS, Zika, Ebola. I can keep going on and on, but COVID been unprecedentedly has hit us the hardest. And, when people ask you, well, how are you doing? Well, we've used our learnings from our past experiences to apply them today. So we've been very conservative in how we operate the business, now and always.
Yeah.
We remained a good gold standard of financial stability in the travel industry. It's good to know that we are debt-free. Collette does not own hotels, cruise ships, motor coaches, or airlines, so we're free from that massive debt. We do have adequate reserves to ride out this pandemic, even if we do not operate a tour all of 21. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but Collette is financially sound and strong despite the challenges we've faced during this pandemic. Throughout the pandemic, we've refunded over $150 million to our guests that requested their money back on a canceled tour. We do have a fiduciary responsibility if a tour does not operate. We haven't earned the client's money, nor should we be keeping it. Any vouchers that we have issued, those funds have been held in a trust account. Collette being a family-run organization, and you've met some of the Sullivans and leadership team over the years, Derek, but we're very robust, I'd say a robust organization, incredible executives and leadership team. Our employees are remarkable, resilient, positive, upbeat, and forward-thinking. So we're going to come out of this stronger than we were before, and we're already seeing positive signs. So I know a lot of your travelers are asking, we're looking to resume operations sometime midsummer and into early fall and beyond, because there's a lot of, it's a fluid situation. A lot of the government's actions and decisions, cause uncertainty. We need more clarity. And, with the PCR testing, and I call it the new room service, but there's a lot of things that we're doing for health and well initiatives that, is going to allow us to resume operations internationally. I don't, just a fun fact to talk about the 21st of the 21st year, Derek, but who doesn't like a good game show? I just wanted to let your viewers know that Collette is on the Wheel of Fortune all this week. We've taken over the stage, the branding, the commercials. We've partnered up with Wheel of Fortune for 15 years now, and we're giving incredible trip giveaways. And I'm going to ask your viewers to look for tonight's puzzle solution so you can win the viewer's bonus prize. So last night they gave away Greece, and you have to win to earn these trips, but it's been a good partnership. But, when it comes to guided travel, we're seeing positive signs. We're getting a lot of advanced bookings because I think people are looking past the pandemic now and saying, okay, I've been grounded, or I've lost out in travel for the last 12 to 18 months. So, tell me what is new, what's trending, and what direction we're going. And, traveling with Collette comes with benefits that takes the guided travel experience to a new level. So what we're doing is more peace of mind, more expertise, more on tour, and the more needed flexibility for your travelers. We have a breadth of product. We have 160 tours to all 7 continents. As you know, I've traveled to 6 continents and over 70 countries. So we're a premier operator, 4-star, 5-star experience. And when we talk about travel trends, we just don't have one type of tour. We have 5 distinctive travel styles. Each tour is really uniquely designed to fit the traveler's needs. I'm going to show a real quick video of our talented product managers and designers who curate these immersive itineraries.
We have over 160 tours to all 7 continents and 5 distinct travel styles.
Spotlights is our fastest growing travel style. These tours stay in one destination and really give travelers a chance to live like a local, explore, and experience the city in depth.
Spotlight on Paris is always très populaire. After all, it is the city of love.
Explorations programs are small group tours that offer more culturally immersive experiences.
Explore the Alps entirely by train on Switzerland's hidden trails and majestic peaks.
In 2020, all Explorations tours will be carbon neutral, and most of those tours will have impact moments. Impact moments are responsible experiences like visiting a social enterprise, supporting the local community, or doing something to protect the environment.
Our classic tours span the globe. They feature the must-see sites, They connect travelers with the local culture and have the food that's worth traveling for.
Our product design team is on the road all year, creating tours that our guests are asking for. We stay ahead of trends.
We listen. We collaborate.
We innovate.
That's why this year we have over 20 new tours to places like Morocco, Patagonia, Croatia, Greece, the Azores, and Russia.
We've been doing this for a long time.
Now, with over 102 years of travel industry, Collette has remained committed to supporting our valued travel partners like Derek and their clients now more than ever. So here's what we need to know about our response to COVID-19 during these challenging times. In these uncertain times, our industry-leading worry-free travel protection plan offers a full cash refund, unlike many plans that only offer a voucher or a travel credit. You can cancel for any reason right up to 24 hours prior to departure. It covers pre-existing, no age discrimination. Yes, it covers COVID and COVID interruption. It is the best insurance to give you reassurance. We've really offered this policy for decades. We didn't have to make any modifications or changes, to the protection plan. There's no hidden restrictions. Every tour, every departure, every time, we do really have you covered. Now, should a tour happen to cancel this year, because through the rural recovery, there is some setbacks, but, we're giving clients and guests choices. So if by chance we cancel, a summer tour, the guest can rebook for travel later in 2022, price protected. The second option would be choose to receive a future travel voucher valued at 105% of the total price. And again, just receive a full cash back refund. Now, we know travel will be more meaningful and purposeful. So there's no not denying that life and travel will likely look a little different for the foreseeable future. So each guest that travels with us deserves a memorable and fulfilling travel experience. So we intend to continue to deliver on that promise. The health, well-being, enjoyment remains the top focus and priority. So talking on these points, I would encourage, we've created a full landing page, a few videos, but from pre-tour health screening, smaller groups, enhanced cleaning and disinfecting in high infective traffic areas, with our drivers, our guides being trained on COVID, controlled crowded areas, working with our vendors, hotels, and no buffets. So really, we've really enhanced all these safeguard measures so that it's going to be seamless and effortless while traveling and not having any concerns or challenges. Also, we know plans can change. So we've also added more peace of mind. Travelers have an option to change their tour or departure for any reason up to 60 days with no change fees. So, we have some people maybe have some apprehension for traveling, things do come up, but again, we want to make sure that we provided that needed flexibility. Derek, we've had these conversations on, when it comes to touring, when we design our tours, we want to make sure our hotels have the highest guest satisfaction rating. They're listed so that people can search online, see where they are located. For instance, in Rome, you'll see that we are city center or they're strategically located in the destination. I think it's very important. Also, we build in unique stays that will be memorable. Many of the tours we have overnight stays in castles, manors, estates, villas, and more. And in the UK and Ireland alone, we concentrate on staying at historical properties or castles. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but the Arctic resort in Finland or Lapland, you get to sleep in a glass igloo and catch the glimpses of the Northern Lights. I think now people are looking, not to move around so much. So on tour pacing, we have less hotel hopping. So on average, Collette uses fewer than 5 hotels. 75% of our tours use 5 or fewer. We have 75% of our tours, that will have 3 or fewer hotels. And we created a distinctive travel style called Spotlights, where you stay at one hotel or a castle or a manor or a piazza or a parador and just concentrate on that region. Tuscany and the French Riviera seem to be very popular, and they're liking to take a deep dive and more of a cultural connection by, hub and spoking it. When it
So
comes to meal,
Ron,
yeah, go ahead.
You go on those spotlights.
Yep.
So you would have a tour director that would be meeting you and then taking you different places each day.
Absolutely, Derek. Yeah, there are tour directors, which there's a good segue into that, but they're with you. So it's not a destination representative. So it's a comprehensive of leisure time, sightseeing, more of the culinary for Epicureans. And in Tuscany, we stay in Montecatini Terme, and you'd go out and do day trips to Pisa and Florence, and it's guided, which is terrific. And it's very leisurely, and as you know, you don't want to be driving Italy because you're not Mario Andretti, and you actually want to enjoy the finer things of the local wine. And so it's and that brings me into meals, because we include 57% of the overall meals, 60% of the dinners are on tour, and we focus on building more meals outside. So not just in you don't want to be eating in a banquet hall. So you want to have the local delicacies and local flavors. And, if I went to St. John's or if I experienced Newfoundland and someone said, "Where'd you eat?" And I said, "The hotel," you'd be saying, "Well, you're daft. Like, we have these great restaurants." And that's the way we feel. And also dining experiences. So what we've done now is, again, people want more sight doing than opposed to sightseeing. And the culinary experience of home hosted meals, exclusive experiences, regional specialties, interactive classes. So that's very important. And that's what we're, leaning towards when we're looking at creating more new tours. And the other thing is people want more personalization and customization. So we now have choice on tour. So various levels of activities. And for Costa Rica, which is a popular winter getaway, folks could either do hiking in a lava field or zip lining. Or in Lisbon, they could do a panoramic coach tour or doing one of the local walking tours so that they can earn their 10,000 Fitbit steps, right? So, this is the way travel is moving towards. And our tour managers are really the best and most respected. It's like traveling with your own personal confidant or concierge. And also the benefits of working with local experts. I think, people want to know and hear from local experts and give that local perspective. And we've created a line of videos called The Insider's Look from our guides. And this is Angela, who's a good friend of mine. She does Spain and Portugal. Have a listen.
I like to be surrounded by people and, get them excited with the destination. That's what I like to do. I'm Angela, hi. And I'm with Collette for 9 years. I've been guiding for 20 years. It's been a wonderful journey. So if I could take guests with me on tour, I would take them to Spain's Classics and Portugal tour. While visiting Iberia, it's already an excitement. So you have great food and great wine, you have beautiful landscape, you have beautiful weather all year round. So guests feel very attracted by visiting a nice destination, good weather, good food, beautiful monuments. So we have a lot to offer over there.
Yeah, she's lovely, Derek. And the other thing is that the most talented people we have are sitting at home, which is their tour directors. And we've been able to collaborate, and we're doing these virtual consumer shows and bringing them on and them sharing their stories and what their countries are doing. And, it's, you want to sustain business in local communities and can't wait for them to get back on the road. But we talked about this, this is going to be the most historical event, and it's going to take place next year in Germany. The 22 Oberammergau Passion Play was postponed just for the fourth time in its nearly 400-year history. The preparations are, remain underway, and they're ready to welcome us in 2022. But I position it not as religious. You don't have to go with your church. However, if you are thinking of traveling to Europe, why would you not take this event of a lifetime? It is the greatest story ever told. And you see up on the top corner there, that's me. And this gentleman was Frederick Mayet. He actually portrayed Jesus in 2010. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Bayern Munich fan, loves Alphonso Davies, our Canadian lad. And he actually was so kind, he did a behind the scenes tour video for us.
That's me 7 years ago. So I was a little bit younger, riding on the donkey. That was the first scene in the Passion Play, the entry of Jerusalem. My name is Frederik Mayet. I played Jesus in the last Passion play. I live here in Oberammergau. The Passion play of Oberammergau is almost 400 years old, and today it's the biggest Passion play in the world. I think in Oberammergau everyone is somehow involved in the Passion play. Either you're on the stage or you're in the organization. We have about 5,000 inhabitants, and about almost 3,000 are in the Passion play or are involved here. And you're only allowed to be in the play if you're born in Oberammergau or if you live here for 20 years. In Oberammergau, everyone wants to be on the stage and play theater. Somehow it's in our DNA. So we are really happy to have partners like Collette who come to Oberammergau, not only in the Passion play year, but also in the year in between, and that you show what Oberammergau offers. Hope to see you here in Oberammergau the next time.
And that happens it's supposed to happen every 10 years, is that right? Ron?
Yeah, every 10 years, Derek. And unfortunately, it's the greatest story ever told, but it was the plague set through Europe in 1633, and the town's council vowed to God that they'd do the life and death and the resurrection of Jesus, and it was done at the cemetery, and not one person contracted the plague after that. And it's ironic that you had to postpone it because of COVID, but I have to say that livestock and half the population of the village of 5,000 villagers are participating in the hair degree where the men are growing their beards a year prior to the performance, and it's just the vibe and the setting. And it's about an hour and 45 minutes southwest of München or Munich, and Oberammergau, it translates to the Upper River District. But this small village, it may be small, but it has a big story to tell. And the village life, the streets of central Oberammergau are home to dozens of woodcarver shops. The pieces range from religious subjects to handmade wooden toys to humorous portraits. They have incredible Christmas market, the famous frescoes. And again, it's just, I look at it, it's morning and afternoon where we break for lunch, and then they change it to afternoon and evening, and you break for supper. And we spend a couple of nights here. And I have to say, the back of the hair was standing up and through witnessing this performance. It's conducted in German, English subtitles. They give you an English book, third of musical orchestra. It's just, I can go on and on about it, but we do have several itineraries. So when you are thinking of traveling to Europe, we have German romantic roads, the exploring the Alpine countries, classical Danube groups with Passion play, Austrian delight, scenic trains, imperial cities of Hungary, Austria, and the Czech Republic. So, and the other thing is, if you go on to the website, we actually have a lot more information in detail, because we have the best seats, a category 1. One tour has a category 2. We have allotment of 10,000. I think we're 56% sold out, and I'm not trying to give a hard sell, but we are, because a lot of people we protected and moved them from 2020 to 22. But I wanted to share this other video just to kind of give you the topography and the setting of this. Now, what's also funny, Derek, I like my sausages. They have a purity law there for beer, bread, and sausages. You know how we have a vending machine, you can pick up snacks? They have a sausage vending machine with all the different sausages. I was trying to find the photo, but hilarious. You're walking down, you put a couple euro, and you have the best bratwurst sausage in your life. So
I think Ron, it's really good that the organizers of the Passion Play have recognized the situation of the world and with the virus and have made a very positive decision to be able to move it. Some people have moved to 2021, some of the things, but that is really good that they've given people the peace of mind to go to 2022 and say, it seems like they really thought it out to say, we want to make sure that people feel comfortable coming to it.
yeah, they want you to have the full experience, and the people who support it and their tireless efforts, they feel it's their obligation, their oath, and their DNA. It's just, the one thing is, Derek, when you're visiting with them and you're talking to them, you know, they've been there. You have to be a resident for 25 years or born and raised. And Krisha Stoikel, who's the director, his great grandfather played Pontius Pilate. His grandfather played Pontius Pilate, and they thought he would, but he took a different direction and became the musical choreographer. And just listening to him, it's yeah, I love it. And again, I think when we talk about travel, that's one thing that I've spoken to so many people who've actually did it in years past, and they can remember it like yesterday. But you ask them what they had for lunch, they couldn't even tell you. So, yeah. But the one thing is, we know with the recovery, I just want to, because you did ask me, what's going to be selling, where people are comfortable. We anticipate domestic travel throughout the summer. We have a brand new exclusive tour just for Canadian residents, and it's the Western Canadian Rockies, Lakes, and Wine Country. It doesn't have VIA, doesn't have the Rocky Mountaineer like some of our other programs. August 27th, 9 days, 13 meals. But you start in Calgary at the Hyatt Regency, a couple of nights at the Banff Inn. Then we're working our way through the interior of Revelstoke, the CP and the Railroad Museum, into the Okanagan Wine Country, and then ending in Vancouver. So this has just been released, and I can share more details with you. The other thing is, when countries of what they've done, discovering the good life, and people are looking for that exotic fauna, lush rainforests, and endless coastlines. Costa Rica, for next winter of 2022, we're seeing a lot of traction and a lot of advanced bookings. And I'm just going to, Herman, this, again, he's a plethora of information when it comes to fauna and flora. And here's a quick little highlight of Costa Rica.
Tropical Costa Rica, it's a unique program because it takes place at what is quite possibly the most biodiverse country on earth. My name is Ricardo Howell. I'm a tour manager with Collette, and I've been guiding for 25 years. Guests arrive the first day, and they get to relax at our hotel.
The next morning, we had a beautiful ride up to a coffee plantation where we had a tour and learned all about the coffee, which was quite fascinating. We had a free day, which was terrific. Lots of people just relaxed or took a walk on the beach.
Tamarindo is a beautiful location to enjoy a gorgeous sunset.
The next day, we took a ride to a town called Monteverde in the mountains.
Our guests have a choice on tour and pick between an included zipline adventure or a stroll through the hanging bridges of the cloud forest.
The most exhilarating part of the tour was the zip lining under the canopy.
We were way up high above the tree canopy, zipping between platforms, and we got to see the valley and the mountain.
I had no idea the variety that is available here that we're getting to see.
Far more than we expected.
Tropical Costa Rica is a wonderful opportunity to have a taste of what Costa Rica has to offer. It has adventure, it has boat trips, it has a great exposure to natural sceneries or seeing animals in the wilderness. I lead tours in such a unique destination that I love sharing that with our guests. It's about being able to deliver an opportunity for guests to have a lifetime experience.
So I want to see all the Newfoundlanders getting out of this 40 centimeters of snow, Derek, this time next year in Costa Rica.
I'd love to be there because I'd love to zip line. I think that's the most exhilarating thing ever to do.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of our single women doing it because if they're intimidated to do it by themselves, there's always these Costa Rican men to take them down. So it seems like all the women want to line up and do that opposed to the brick walk. So, but just, you know, again, we want to recognize and, you know, so we have the Collette Passport Club that's designed to celebrate our valued guests and with travel benefits and special recognition. And it's, you know, it's combined with our seasonal saving offers. But, you know, I know that, again, we're going to be able to get out of this. You know, we're closer to the end than we were from the beginning. I know with your tireless efforts and your expertise and exceptional services and knowledge, Derek, and, you know, together we're going to be able to reconnect your travelers and we're going to be ready when the world's ready, you know, and but there's a lot of things that have to happen now till then. But again, we're cautiously optimistic and that, you know, domestic travel throughout the summer and internationally early fall and then into 2022.
It sounds wonderful program, and I like the approach of Collette. Yeah, you know, you're looking beyond the immediate spring and that people that normally would travel because, you know, until that vaccine is in people's arms, the level of confidence that people have to travel. I mean, everybody wants to travel, but that vaccine is what's until they get that in their arms, and the majority of people get it in their arms, not only in Canada but also around the world. It's one of those things that are holding people back, and hopefully some of the other parts of the travel industry, such as the airlines and hotels, and that have had major changes to their scheduling, and that also will be able to rebuild their programs as well.
Yeah, we are working with them, and our general manager, Brett Walker, is the chairman of CATA, which is Canadian Association of Tour Operators. So, you know, we work with we work with the, you know, Center of Disease Control, and, you know, it's going to be important because, you know, for the PCR testing, and, you know, and if I look at our capacity, we've increased 50% more of our capacity than we did operate in 2019 because of, you know, 30 to 40% of open seating for good physical social distancing on the coaches, and, you know, working with particular vendors that have to comply and conform to our requirements. And we're going to go more digital. We'll have a Collette Compass app that, you know, we're still going to be traditionally giving the wallet out and documents, but we're going to have it on an app where, you know, it's going to be with you and it doesn't require data. And, you know, throughout these times, you know, you got to provide more technology and innovation, and, you know, that's what we're doing. And but right now it's this inspirational, aspirational, but you know, a lot of travelers have been grounded for 12 to 18 months, and there's a thing called revenge travel spending is lurking. It's you know, people are, you know, that's the first thing they're looking at doing, and you know, and we want to make sure that we've put all the parameters in place so that they're comfortable and safe. And I look at travel now where it's like us going to Africa, Derek, where, you know, yellow fever and malaria pills. Well, you know, with the data modeling, you're going to get that vaccine, and you're going to be traveling, and and you're going to go to countries that have been vaccinated as well. So yeah, we'll make it happen.
Well, yeah, I know there's so many people working towards it. And as I say to all of the viewers, I mean, we all want to travel, and all of my shows are information sharing for when you're ready to travel and when you want to find information. Hopefully these shows will help you, and, you know, you'll make contact with myself, or if you're watching from other parts of, you know, Canada and so on, that you have a travel advisor that will be able to help you navigate. Because even just this morning, I took, probably one of my first phone calls in 9 months, and it was about whether or not people had to isolate just in Ontario, and find that people wanted to be able to find out that that kind of information. So, I just hope that, as you say, we're closer to the end of this than we were at the beginning. So, please God, by spring and 2022. People will feel comfortable to be able to and have those bookings in place.
Absolutely. And, the agents are so much more valued now, because I think people underestimated what work an agent does. They think of booking online, and we know the struggles and challenges, and you hear it, Derek. And, I think the one thing that you've done with your people is you walk them through, create the psychology of traveling and what the expectations, and you're very detailed. So TPI has been a very strong partner. We look forward to earning some more of your group business, and I'm still going to try, Derek. I'm half Irish, half Scottish. Half he likes to drink, half he doesn't want to pay for it, but we're good value, my friend.
Yeah. Just before you go, you talked about the connection with Wheel of Fortune and so on, and that they're on this week. So my challenge that I'm going to put out to people, so this being Thursday and then tomorrow night, so anyone who views this show and sends me a message, either via Facebook or via email, with the answer to the puzzle that comes up tonight, then we'll put them in a draw for a gift card to a local restaurant here in St. John's.
Wonderful. Thank you, Derek. And it's
right.
always a pleasure. You make me smile every time I see you, Derek.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for viewing again this week. Just to let you know, we have guests lined up actually right now till the end of February. And my guest next week will be a young man from the UK, who has his own podcast, and it's actually called The Worst Traveler, and where he talks about all of the things that can go wrong when you're traveling. And it's a very unique program, and he's agreed to come on my show next week. And I think people will find his experiences very interesting to listen to as well. So thank you again, Ron. Been a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully we can get some people over to the Passion Play in 2022 and make people feel comfortable in what they're doing.
Absolutely. Well, continue to keep well, safe. Don't be staying out too long shoveling, Derek. Get some rest.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you.